Hi, thank you for joining me today. I am Jackie, your virtual wellness and health specialist. I brought a guest with me today, a actual registered dietitian named Andrea Troutner. As you know, I am a health coach, a health educator, which means that I support you in meeting your goals. And so for Organ and Body Health Tuesday, I invited Andrea, the registered dietitian, because as you know, I have been asking you to please use your insurance and get a actual clinical person to start you in the process of improving your goals. Now, the health coach and the registered dietitian together, when we partner together, we help you, number one, and then we help your doctor also to be excited about your outcomes as a result of this great partnership and resource. So, Andrew, take it away.
So again, you can't say it enough. We are in Synergy, the registered dietitian, as recognized by the Commission of Dietetic Registration, is the nutrition expert, and we provide individualized medical nutrition therapy, which involves meal planning, providing you clinical guidance, one step at a time as far as your chronic condition goes. It could be you're managing prediabetes, diabetes, cardiovascular disease.
Oh, yes.
It could be just healthy eating and overall weight management. Regardless of what your reason for the visit is, a lot of times your insurance will cover it under preventative. So it's good to look into it. Alongside with a health coach, we can work together to provide you your best self.
And so, as you can see, we have already partaken in some good eating today and been able to talk about some different things around nutrition choices. So, obviously, when you're out in a public place, there's so many options and there's so many things that you know taste good. But learning how to make a correct nutritional choice comes from knowledge of yourself. So, how would you go about teaching your patients or your clients about how to make the right nutritional choices when they're out?
Out and about. That is a good one. And it comes up often. I would say plan ahead. Plan for that plan B. I need to eat out. And it doesn't mean do your diet against what you need to be doing. It just means maybe bringing in your own water to the restaurant or making sure you're well hydrated before you get to the restaurant. So you're just adding another non-sugary beverage. We could entertain the idea of salads, asking for the salad dressing on the side. You could split your entree with yourself and bring it home for another meal. It's not doesn't mean you have to eat exactly what you have in front of you. And be a little bit more creative with trying new foods. And again, it is portion distortion in restaurants to some level. So have the expectation that there will be leftovers. Perhaps there might even be a nice leftover dinner for another day. But the salads are wonderful. Even switching out, swapping white enriched white flour bread for whole wheat. Thinking about thinner slices of bread or bread on the side. Looking for lean meat, turkey, lean roast beef. Considering sauces on the side. Again, being a little more vocal and with your counter or your wait stop. And again, enjoy your experience. Minimize the distraction. And I think that's the beauty of eating out. We aren't as tempted to use our mobile devices. But there's nothing more discouraging than you're with someone and you've got your phone in your face. How are you going to be mindfully eating this holiday season?
And just to tell you really quickly before we leave, is that I did something that I'm asking you to do, which is go and speak to a clinician like a registered dietitian. I did it for 1 year, and I enjoyed it. And the three things that I took away when I finished my program, it was a 1 year program. I met quarterly. When you go out, or even when you cook at home, I remember the three C's. I like to try to connect things with things. So the three C's were eat colorfully, which means make your plate colorful. Consider the calories beforehand, and then count how well you did by the number of choices that you made. So, say for example, when I went to this new restaurant, and I like Indian food, by the way, I like spicy.
Me too.
So one thing that I did was look at my colors, look at the calories, and counted how well I did with picking the right type of things for the calorie count and for the color intake. And guess what? I was very pleased with myself, and I didn't overdo anything because I was remembering those 3 C's that helped me to not get into food distortion and things like that.
Excellent. Excellent.
Registered dietitians, they would teach you all that. That didn't come from me as a health coach. That came from being with a clinician and helping me track my goals. So,
Very good. So you speak of goals. What a registered dietitian can do in the meal planning aspect is actually tell you how much you need and determine whether you need to either lose weight, gain weight, or maybe stay right where you are, and work with you with number of servings. And may I remind you that a portion is not the same thing as a serving. So again, with restaurants especially, it might be a nice display of food and a very large plate, but may I remind you, 9-inch plate really is the standard. And so, getting out your measuring cups and your measuring spoons might seem silly initially, but how do you know what you're eating? How do you create the awareness of what you're eating if you don't know how much? So think about that this holiday season. It's not always what you eat, it's how much.
absolutely. I like that too. And let me just say this final thing as a health coach and working with my own individual registered dietitian, I have really learned how to, I guess, make sense of the portions of food that I eat. And I like that information. There's a difference between portion and servings. I like that a lot. So I'm telling you, this works. I would like for each of you to get on the phones, get in contact with your doctors, get the referral to see a registered dietitian. They're sometimes called nutritionists, but they're RDs, that's their initials. Get your first care plan, set up your quarterly or monthly meetings so you can actually be educated on who you are as a person, but also how you eat as a person plays a part in what you do.
Absolutely. Meeting you where you are is very, very important. That no one meal plan is the same for everyone.
That's so true. And even though we talk about weight management, which is important because it does kick off diabetes, hypertension, COPD, right? It kicks off all the chronic diseases. That is still important. But also, what's important is the physical activity that you take in while you're eating. Because you know what? When you eat healthier, you do find the energy to do a little bit more physically. It is our source of energy.
Absolutely.
So, organ and body health. We want to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, remember this is National Diabetes Month, and we're all about preventing that disease from taking place in your life. However, if you already are, here you have it. You got help. We call ourselves the provider's resource.
There you go. I love that.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Bye.